So unlike in the data center, edge devices have discrete functions. So a welding robot can only do so many functions in the context of its existence. It's a welding robot. It's not a server that can execute, thousands of applications. And so if you're going to consolidate the functions of a welding robot, industrial control system, a camera, you're going to be discrete to the number of applications that can run on that device. And so right-sizing the infrastructure means let's get as many possible workloads that can utilize that OT device's capabilities onto that device. Let's shrink the stack to the minimum viable size that can execute the OT workload.
There's a real importance to right-sizing the infrastructure at the software-defined edge because the edge is fundamentally different from the data center. In the data center, you have to optimize for a large area with a ton of compute in a single location. That's the data center environment. In an edge, on the other hand, these are small, geographically distributed locations where there's a limitation on the amount of hardware that you have that you can even put there. And you don't have the same kind of heating and cooling and things like that you have in the data center. So having an infrastructure that's right-sized for that particular environment, and that's also fleet managed by a centralized solution, is really key for the software-defined edge.
When developing a software-defined edge strategy, determining how to right-size your equipment is critical because you're typically working in an environment at the edge where there's no IT department, there's no IT support staff, and we're literally dealing with a situation where we have to worry about size, space, heat, power, cooling, and being able to do that in the right-sized infrastructure with low management requirements at an edge is critical for successful edge adoption.
Like for example, in a store, you might have a camera that's in charge of loss prevention. You might have a camera in charge of self-service checkout, a camera in charge of inventory control. Now that's a lot of infrastructure if you're going to have different infrastructures to support each one of those OT workloads. So that the proliferation is driving forward the need for consolidation in administration and orchestration.